Hey guys,
Hi everyone.
you're welcome to our YouTube channel.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
If you're visiting our YouTube channel for the first time, we say welcome.
Welcome.
You are about the best place you can be. We talk about lifestyle, love, relationship, family,
Yes.
and of course God.
Yes.
And before we go further, just go over our usual routine. My name is Thankyou,
And I'm WetheTizas.
and together
we are the Teasers.
Yep. And you're welcome.
Yes.
But if you're a returning subscriber or a regular watcher that's not subscribed,
Hey,
we thank you for always coming.
thank you.
However, we ask that you subscribe. Before we go further, just subscribe. Yeah. As in, we know that we give good content. So
Yes.
hit
Just
subscribe. And then don't forget to hit the like buttons. As often as you hit the like button, our videos will be recommended to people to watch. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. Don't just say, oh, nice, so cute, and then pass,
So cute.
Yeah. Say something about it and let everybody have the experience just as you did.
Yeah.
So going straight to what we have to say today.
Yes.
What are we talking about today?
So today is a sequel from our last video where we spoke about the first year of our marriage. So today we're going to be speaking about the second year of our marriage.
And if you have not watched it, you can still watch it. It's available part 1. But part 2 is the second year.
Yeah. So the second year was great. I think for our relationship was better than the first year.
Yeah.
There was more understanding.
Yeah.
We had learned to compromise more. We understood the things that made every one of us tick or happy or
talk, TikTok.
So I would say our relationship, from my point of view, our relationship was way better than the first year.
Yeah.
Nothing compared to this year, but it was great. What again? Yeah, there was still, some form of adjustments. We'll get to that, but we still had a few adjustments to make. But I would say that overall our relationship was great, fantastic, and way better. There was greater level of understanding in our second year of marriage.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think most of the struggles we had, most of the arguments, most of the concerns we had was in our first year.
Yeah.
So in our second year, we learned to deal. In fact, I think it was second year we made the resolution to always have our monthly relationship review. So our monthly relationship review is where we sit down and then everybody airs their views or their opinion about how the relationship went throughout the month.
Yeah.
Now, somebody will be thinking their hearts or thinking now that that's so intense. Well, it's because we want to have a good relationship.
True.
Listen, let me just say this here. I'm not trying to sermonize, but if you're going to be with somebody for the rest of your lives, then your goal will be to live the best of your lives.
Honestly,
have the best times
together. Yeah. Exactly.
So it's just part of the measures we put to help us execute. Because remember, in our first video, we said in our first year, we understood what we had a moment where, when my wife delivered, we sat down to talk. And then we established it as a way to guide us.
Yes.
So from time to time, even though it's not so official most of the time, but we make sure that we have relationship reviews.
Yeah.
And then, it helps to make adjustment, know where you're hurting someone, what you need to stop saying, what you need to say more, what you need to adjust, what you need to increase, etc. So for our relationship, even I also have the opinion, I'm also of the opinion that it got better.
It got way better.
Way better. Way better.
Yeah.
Nobody felt like it was a scam.
Yeah, exactly. We had a very great level of understanding. I think our first year was like we were growing in understanding, going to the roots. So we had understood that, these are the things that matter to this person. So there was a great level of understanding. Yeah,
and I think that was the time we also consumed content the most on relationship. So we're building more on our relationship.
Yeah, we read books.
Read books together.
Yes, we read books together. Soft copy, hard copy.
Yeah, we read books together, and it was a smoother sail.
Yes.
In the second year.
Yes, it was.
Then our finances. Remember in the last video we talked about how in the first year our finances were rough, and then towards the end of the first year, my wife took another job. Well, not rough. It was not
where we wanted it to be.
But we're doing fine.
Yeah.
We're doing fine. But then the second year, we now had the balance of my wife's salary, and then we had mine. Coupled with that, we just had more. I don't know whether I'll call it more favor.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
We had more favor.
Yeah.
We're able to do much more.
Yeah.
I think even spiritually we grew more. We grew in our second year, because in second year I learned to not do things alone.
Yeah.
And we learned to walk spiritually together. And that's one thing many people don't know.
Yeah.
That as a couple, you can grow together.
Yeah.
Now, of course, one will definitely be ahead of the other.
True.
But
you do it in such a way that you don't leave the other person to become a baggage to you in the future.
Exactly. So in our second year, I think that's where we grew that strength. And then because of the increase on improvement on our spiritual level, influenced our finances.
Finances, yes. And to think that we had a child in that second year, and you think that we would spend a lot more. Yes, we did, but for example, we just had him, we had a lot of gifts.
Yeah.
We had people sending other people to bring stuff for our son. We didn't really buy clothes.
And that was the time he was born. Talking about gifts.
Yes.
When he was born.
He got a lot. He ate all the pepper soup.
When it comes to eating, I enjoy it. I ate different kinds of pepper soup. Fish, goats,
different kinds.
cow.
Different kinds. I don't know why. And it's not just me. Funny thing is, for many women, once they have a child, they don't have appetite for the first few days.
Yeah.
So I was just I loved tea and pap. Strange. And that's what I kept taking. Then
I was just helping us too.
Yes, because if he didn't eat it, we just got married. We didn't have deep freezer out. Like we didn't have space. It would spoil. So he had to be eating it, but he enjoyed a lot.
No, I enjoyed it a lot too. That's
we had a lot of gifts, like monetary gifts, like material gifts, like we had a lot of gifts especially for Judah.
Yeah.
We had so much.
So
our finances were not even affected by the presence of a child.
And there's a message behind that, because a lot of people are afraid of having children because of the burden that comes with it. Now, are we advocating for irresponsibility at all? But what we are saying is, if God is in it, and then you believe let me take that again. As long as you believe in God, and then you're responsible in your decisions, once a child or children are added, God is not unconscious of that reality.
Yes.
So if he supplied when you had no child,
exactly,
he knows that with a child there is need for it to increase.
Yes.
And then he will add more.
Yes.
I remember even the gifts we got in Pampers lasted almost the whole year.
Honestly speaking, like I had to give some out because he outgrew some sizes. So there were people in our church that were having children, and I gave them I gave her like a big pack of 92 pieces. So we had a lot of gifts. And this thing you said reminded me of something. There was something my husband used to say then. I think when I was still pregnant, about to give birth, and when we had Judah, when we pray, we say, God, you are this child's father.
Yeah.
It's not us, like this kind who will not take full responsibility. God, you are our father, you are our child's father. So you will take care of this child. This child is your own. And look, God has come through every single time for this child. He doesn't lack what he wants.
Every single time. I mean, I think I won't lie, when he was born, okay, I think we're mixing the two, finance and children, so let's just continue.
Yeah, finance and children.
I remember when he was born, I had concerns too, and genuine concerns that every person that is the breadwinner of the family will have. Thinking about, okay, the next 3 months.
Yeah.
And then I had people around me that didn't help matters. They ask questions around that.
Yeah.
Also, how will people do it? When the baby come, Pampers, they come. When I'll not call their names, but they know themselves. They are not females, they are guys. Baby, they chop Pampers, and also. So I know, yes, it's true, it's wise counsel.
Yeah.
But when you're giving such counsel, don't give it in fear. Don't put fear in people.
That's it.
Don't put fear in people. Just give the counsel from a place of love, to get them to be prepared for what is to come. Not a place as if the child is a burden.
Exactly.
Because
yes, I think there's even a way you communicate it that even makes the person more reassured that they can do this. For example, you say, children use a lot of diapers, wipes, but you know what? Thank God you have God. God will provide.
Yes.
So there's that there's the fact, obvious fact, but then there's the reassurance that you have a supply that is not controlled by the economy of your country. You have great supply from heaven.
Go deeper, mama. Deep sea. Yeah, but that's genuine advice. Genuine advice for someone who is married and yet to have kids. It's not something you should be concerned about.
Yes.
Somehow, the truth of what Jesus said about the Bible, that every day, each day has its own trouble.
Yes.
And each day there is supply for every trouble.
Exactly.
I tell you, in fact, I remember when let's go back in retrospect. I just remember something.
Yeah.
When my wife was trying to convince me, because it has to be on record, trying to convince me that we should have a child at the time we did.
Yeah.
I was concerned about having children, but she used an example. So she took me outside, and then in the community where we are, the church was, we had different classes of people. We had rich, but we had majorly low income earners.
Yes, and
we're
just saying it as the fact, not like we're being condescending.
So she showed me the kids around, and they showed me some bigger ones. When I say bigger, I mean like 7, 8, and they showed me 2, 1, and she was like, "Aren't we doing better than these people?" And as she said, not that we're looking down on them, but just for
if it's by means.
So she said, if it's by means, they won't have kids.
Yes.
They won't have kids. And if God can help them take care of their kids,
yes,
God can help us take care of us.
Exactly.
And boom.
That was the testimony. In fact, I will give a particular example. I think because it was not as if we had so much money, we were receiving so much money. We had spent some money in the hospital, we had spent some money buying a few basic things. I think they had to tell you to buy drip or something when I was in labor that I didn't end up using. So we just spent a whole lot of money, and by the time he came back with the drips, I had given birth, and they took it back. So we needed money to just cater for a few people that would come for the naming. And we wanted to do something, but we didn't have enough money to do that. So we're thinking, okay, maybe we'll just do like this, maybe we'll just do like that. And then 3 days after Judah was born, somebody walked into our house, gave us a brown envelope and said, "Oh, this is from this person, said I should give you." That was the exact money we needed for the naming of our son.
Yeah. Everything was provided.
Like everything was provided, even his dedication. We didn't spend a dime.
Nothing was.
We didn't spend. Did we spend money? Maybe for canopy.
Nothing.
It didn't come from us. Everything God provided.
I've forgotten.
What was that?
Out of sight, out of mind. Oh, your friend. That did Deco. Obi, yes.
His 1-year birthday.
Okay, that's his 1-year birthday.
Yes.
Okay, that will be in the 3rd year.
Yes.
But then just
like God
was
provided.
God, did everything.
Yes.
And, the amazing thing is, even someone even gave a car for us to be using throughout.
Yeah.
From when my wife was about 7 months.
Yes.
Down to when child was born.
Yes. And thank God for that car.
Yeah. So we're moving about, and there was no form of inconvenience.
Going to antenatal, even when labor started, at least there was a car right there.
So everything was just worked out for good. And you see, another thing you should notice this, that miracles or testimonies are not only miracles and testimonies are not reserved for the most outstanding events.
Yes.
When you look in retrospect, you see that God was daily supplying. For us, it was our journey through our wilderness. Yeah. And in the wilderness, we're getting manna every day.
Every day.
Let me tell you something people don't consider, and this is me sermonizing, of course.
Very important.
People do not consider when when you observe the children of Israel, they had the right to be dissatisfied with eating manna every day. Do you know what it means? Mm-hmm. Some of you, if you eat garlic, you say, that's what they were eating bread every day. Eating every day, but it was their approach, it was the way they communicated their dissatisfaction that pissed God off, not the dissatisfaction itself. So, but the manna was a testimony of God's faithfulness to them.
That's true.
That they were heading to the promised land.
That's true.
So those those little miracles that were happening were communication to us that God was with us.
Yes.
And if you think that they're inconsequential, maybe someone may see that, why did you go through so much like that in marriage? But another person that is wiser will see that, man, God was helping you people.
God came through.
God continued to come through for you guys. And, that's just the reality of everything that happened to us.
Yeah.
And then even for our intimacy, it just got better. It got better.
We had the talk.
Yeah, it got better. That's where I'll stop.
I'll take it from there. Okay, so like we said in our last video, intimacy was kind of rough in the first year, and I feel the pregnancy made it worse for us. So after I'd given birth, I don't know, but there's this gist that used to, will circulate. Everything about giving birth and all of that will reach you once you're there. And I heard that the first time you get intimate with your husband will be very painful. And every reasonable human being does not like pain. And so I was on great leave. I was enjoying my life. I was just there. And so months were passing by. And then one day we had a conversation with my husband in our room. Then, and my husband just spoke to me. We just spoke about it. In fact, it wasn't even a talk about the intimacy. It was about other things. Then it entered the intimacy, and then somehow that day we just communicated. I communicated a lot of my fears. My husband communicated a lot of his expectations, where everybody was just feeling somehow, where everybody was feeling great and where everybody was feeling sad. And despite my fear, life must go on.
Life must go on, though.
So, and that would be TMI, but our intimacy got way better. And I don't know, I think in our first year, there's this good girl mentality that you have, that you don't make any approach. Like you don't, like, I don't, how this kind, your husband must always come and meet you, must always, be the person doing everything. So I just feel like, why should I want to sleep with this man? I see the face of Jesus. I'm just joking, but so I think in the second year where I was freer. In the first year I was extremely shy. But in the second year, how about seeing you finish, seeing you? I've seen everything and I was freer then. So intimacy was 100 times better. And that was just because of communication.
And let me say something concerning what she said about see finish. I think many people avoid see finish in their relationship. Mm-hmm. But I think see finish is also important. It's a communication of vulnerability.
Exactly.
So both of you are vulnerable to each other, and then you have some level of friendship.
Yeah.
It's if you now take the see finish to be disrespectful, and to become a weapon to destroy your partner.
Exactly.
Then you are finished.
Then that's a problem.
Because obviously you will come to the place of see finish. You are together, doing it together. She knows me in ways that even my mother does not know me, and I know her the same way.
Yes.
So see finish will definitely come. It will come.
But what another person may use as a weapon, you can use as a tool.
Yes,
a tool and a weapon are totally different.
To make something beautiful.
A knife can be used as a weapon, but can be used as a tool.
Yes. So to make salad.
Yeah, to cut stuff for you, or to kill, or to harm.
Exactly.
So it just depends on what you use it for.
Yeah. Finish is good. It's good.
I think it was even very important for us because somehow there was that feeling of safety, like, okay, this person knows me. And there was something that was very outstanding that I learned, I think, in our second year, was that everything my husband does, he doesn't do it with a motive to hurt me intentionally. Like, how even if I get upset, I don't see as if he's a bad person or a wicked person, or he did it intentionally because he wanted to make me angry.
Yeah.
I learned that, I think, in that second year. It was fundamental for me. So it helped me in distinguishing the offense and the offender.
Yeah.
So you don't now tag the person, oh, you did this, it's you. There's the offense, then there's the human being. Yes. It's how, I think I said I was going to answer this question. Somebody asked that, does God love me as a gay person? And the truth is that God does not love the act, but he loves you. He died for you.
Yeah.
So it is the thing that he has a problem with, not you as a person. So I think that was something I learned in our relationship in the second year, that my husband, even if I get offended or hurt by something, he didn't do it intentionally to hurt me.
That's true. I never do. I sometimes do. Let me not lie.
We know.
Sometimes you just say, but it's not good. It's not healthy. It's not good.
I've helped him to be a better man. Deny it.
Jesus is Lord. I don't know. Maybe you ask her whether she used to read that Bible.
Deny it.
But the Bible says God resists the proud. God resists the proud. Gives grace. Don't you want to receive grace? Pastor Emmanuel said, grace changes everything.
Grace
don't you want your life to change?
Everything.
This is pride with proudful ways. Proudful ways. You're not even jotting down things.
Wow.
Anyways.
The ministry.
Yeah. In ministry, I think, ministry too got a better face,
Yeah, it got better expression.
Yeah. That period. It was also trying to, because at that time, I think that was the time General Marcia traveled.
Yes.
Left to be in charge of the church.
In fact, yeah, from that August, it was one Sunday.
Yes.
The Sunday of our anniversary.
Yeah. So I was in charge of the church. So yeah,
it was hectic.
It was hectic, but it was good. It was a learning curve for me to, restructuring a lot of things that I could restructure, because there's just how much you can do if you're not the one in charge, and it's not your ministry. Because there are some people that will still think you're being overzealous.
And I feel like there's something I just wanted to point out, that there's some people that will think, have been in this longer than you, I'm older than you. Yeah. So who are you to come and just,
And I like the wisdom that God gave me to handle that, so that even those that were older than me were able to submit to my instruction and leadership. Yeah. Because you see, people will buy into someone that they know is going somewhere. Yeah. Whether for marriage or work. Yes. People will commit to a place, an establishment, an institution that they know has a future. Yeah. So that was it. We were well established. I think that was the year we were also ordained the pastor, right?
I was ordained the pastor in the first year.
Okay, the first year. Yes. Okay. Ministry. My wife could never stay. That's amazing. The important thing. Some people, you deliver, and then first the concept of staying for months without coming to church is not actually Christian. It may be in the Bible, but it's not Christian. It's just, so imagine in the olden days, they didn't have proper measures to handle bleeding.
That was the major thing.
So it meant the woman was always bleeding, smelling. So they used rags and all these things. It was the rich that could afford certain things. So God made it a rule that after 3 months,
40 days.
40 days, I beg your pardon.
So that's
40 days,
month.
1 month, the woman was to come back to church.
Yeah.
Now,
to society.
Now, we now take it practically. And I know there's nothing wrong in it. It's still good for the woman to rest. If that's the cause, it's good.
Yes, and let it be that you're resting from everything, not just resting from church.
Yeah, if you want to obey one, you have to obey all. Because it's also biblical that when a man marries, for the first year, he's not supposed to do anything. Yeah. He's supposed to spend time pleasing his wife. That's what the Bible said. So if we want to be biblical, stick to it in strictness. Don't change what suits you and what doesn't suit you. So it is not, so my wife could not stay at home. After like 3 weeks, she don't come back to church.
I was anxious to go to church. I missed church.
She be peeping through the window.
Honestly speaking, I don't know, but for me, I love being in church. I love going to church. It's not even about the fact that, because you have a position. There's just that thing. And I was telling my husband a few days ago, I said that's one of the things I really admire with our parents' generation, where they made it that church was not an option.
It was a necessary part of your life.
I'm so used to I cannot be normal and not good. Even if I'm sick, I go to church.
And I think I said it one day. I said, if you're sick, where will you go to? It's not in the Garden of Saints where the Holy Ghost is moving to receive a healing.
See.
So it was just, it was intense. And that time we had to prove, it was that second year we had the strongest form of commitment in church. Yes. We were part of plenty departments. So we were giving in every department.
When department, so.
You are giving in every department.
When youth, battleground prayer, pastorate, deacons board, Choir.
What
again, sir? You even used to help in children's department.
I
was in women ministry.
Department.
You were in men ministry.
Yes. So, as in, we labored. And that second year, that the child was born fresh.
It seemed like we didn't have it.
God, we really worked hard in that second year. And then there were some good memory moments in that second year too. You know, I can remember. Okay, maybe you should say that one. This one is a bad one. It's not a good one. That one that Judah felt that.
Hey, people of God. I was gisting mommy. I was gisting his mom last week about it. You see the way we laughed. Okay, so because of, you know, like you said, we're so committed in church. Now, baby, I'll have to mention that, you know, we're preparing to move. Now, God had told us that we should come and start this work in Jos here. So we're preparing to move. In fact, I was the choir leader in our church in Abuja, but I had handed over. But you know, this kind of handing over where the person is working in training. So I always had to be there too. So I remember we went to town for something. We're having a major program, one of the major programs of the church in July. And we had to go to the hotel to settle their reservations and all of that. My mom was going to come to church and obviously she was mobile. But I was late for choir rehearsal. I don't like being late for choir rehearsal, especially because I had handed over. When I was the person in charge, I don't go late. So it now looks as if I'm not supporting the person I handed over to. It was drizzling. I insisted I must go. If you know Abuja, that was at Games Village. Church was at Galadima, so it's not so far. Do you know, I came out under the rain. I was back in Judah. He was 11 months. I was back in Judah. We climbed bike. The bike was from the Games Village to our church inside Galadima. Now Galadima had bad road. It was not hard. So it was just muddy, you know, rain, you know, that season. So I used the wrapper I backed him with to just cover him in front of me. We were going, I was just feeling like, oh, this is the work of the Lord. That was my genuine thoughts. I was so passionate about God's work. So as we were just going to take the final turn to get to the church, I promise you, I remember that moment in slow motion. Like I just saw the back tire of the bike turning. That's how we all fell down. Judah fell. Look, if Judah fell here, there was a stone here. I said, if this boy hit his head, I'm finished. I will just run mad in Abuja. But that's how fell down. People came, they gathered, and people knew us there. Ma, sorry, I carried Judah. I was just crying. I said, hey, my child. I told the bike man. He said I should climb. Let's take it. I said no. What I've seen, the Lord delivered me. Let's just go home. So I trekked home. I went home that day. I cried to the Lord.
Oh my God!
When I entered the house.
Yes.
I entered our house. No, we were muddy, so we needed to change, but we entered church. Got to the house. I sat down and was crying. I said, God, see what happened to us today. Please give us a car. I cried. Oh, man, I'm so kind of come. I don't know like this. I prayed. I shouldn't leave her. It was as if somebody would call me that night. I said, come.
Hey, God. Somebody saying how people laugh is not funny. It's funny. It's funny. We laugh at our pain.
Oh, God.
That's how you walk in faith. You laugh at the pain.
Jesus.
You laugh at the pain. It was not funny.
It was not funny in the moment, but now, anytime we remember it, it's just so funny.
Because he didn't tell me when it happened till I came home. So
I didn't call him.
I did my own version of praying.
Hey. When I told my husband, it's as if tears were gathering his eye, like his family. That's me and his son. You know. Mama.
But it's well. We have overcome the world.
We have overcome.
And that's how our second year was.
Yes.
I mean, we have spent so much time doing this video, so we'll just stop here.
The third year is interesting.
It's more interesting.
Yes.
So we'll have more details. So thank you for joining us. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And if you have stayed this far, God bless you.
Yes,
thank you so much. Please give us a like.
a thumbs up.
Yeah. And subscribe to our channel.
I recommend it too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.
See you on the next video.
See you next week.
Bye.
Do you have faith? 'Cause I found faith when I found you. Do you have faith?